So now again I'm going to start remaining part of that series. Uh, Today what we discussed, it was the 30 minute series we discussed. Now we are going to discuss the next part. That is about Lokpal Online. So, Chairperson of Lokpal of India, Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghosh, recently inaugurated a digital platform for management of complaints called Lok Online, and it can be accessed by the all citizen of the country, and complaints can be filed from anywhere. Lokpal Online is an end-to-end digital solution, and complaints against public servant fall under the Lokpal Lokayukta Act. Convinced to complain for filing complaint online from anywhere, anytime. Information to the complainant about the action on complaint at every stage. Emails, SMS, facility to complainant ascertain status of complaints. Identity of complaints is kept confidential. CVC, CBI and other inquiry agency can upload their reports directly to Lokpal online platform. Reminders to inquiry agencies through email and SMS. Generation of analytical reports as per the requirement. Lokpal of India has been established in the Lokpal and Lokayukta Act to inquire and investigate allegation of corruption against public functionary falling within the scope of ambit of this act. At present, complaints sent by post, email, delivery by hands or entertained by the Lokpal of India. Portal Bal Swaraj. The Supreme Court directed state to take immediate step to identify, rescue homeless children hit by the COVID-19. The court said their details should be uploaded on National Commission for the Protection of Child Right, Bal Swaraj. The court said the process of collecting the information with regard to the social background of children and identification of benefits under the individual care plan had to be conducted by Child Welfare Committee. Juvenile Justice Law. So, the created by National Commission for Protection of Child Right has developed it as part of role of monitoring authority under section 109 of juvenile justice as to address the growing problem of children being affected by COVID-19. Bal Swaraj. Online tracking, real-time monitoring children who have lost both parents, either of the parents during COVID-19 and are in needs of care and protection. So it will be track children affected by COVID-19 right from the production of children before the Child Welfare Committee to the restoration of the children's, and the data will be filed in portal by district officer and state officer for each child. Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram. The restructured in May, earlier known, implemented for the benefits of the people from all sections of society in identification of minorities, area for creation asset in education, skill and health. So Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram provide better socio-economic infrastructure for the minorities and in field of education, health, skill development. It is Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram. Okay. And minority community with regard to backward parameter, the flexibility introduced program will enable addressing important issues which result in superior implementation leading to greater inclusiveness minority. The criteria for identification of minority towns and cluster village have been rationalized by lowering the population, and earlier only those towns which were found backward in basic amenities and socio-economic parameter were taken up. Now the town which may were found backward in either both criteria. Now earlier those ministry of minority community, uh, 50% of population, now population criteria had been lowered to 25%. Sixth schedule. A MP from Ladakh belonging to BJP party has demanded that the region be included in sixth schedule of the constitution to safeguard land, employment and cultural identity of local people. So sixth schedule under Article 244 provide for the formation of autonomous administration, autonomous district council that have some legislative, judicial and administrative autonomy. So sixth schedule there was a ADC, additional like this autonomous district council, 30 member will be term of 5 year and can make laws, rules and regulation with regard to land, forest, water and agriculture, social custom and mining. The Bodoland Territorial Council in Assam is exceptional with more than 40 member and right to make 39 issue. The sixth schedule applied to the northeastern state of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura and has two hill council in Leh and Kargil also. But Ladakh also want to become a part. Leh and Kargil is there, but neither is under the sixth schedule. So Leh and Kargil is not the part of this. Their powers are limited to collection of some local taxes, parking fee, allotment, and use of land vested by the center. One year Kyoto law. The Supreme Court has held that admission to higher education institution and appointment to Tamil Nadu government job made this year under one year quota. Supreme Court has barred fresh appointment and admission until 50 next year. Vaniyar are one of the largest and most consolidated backward community of Tamil Nadu. They had raised massive protest in mid-1980 demanding 20% reservation and 2% in central service. During agitation, many protests were killed, split OBC quota and split into backward caste and most backward class. So Vaniyar are categorized among the 107 other communities and 3 decades state government passed the bill. So 10.5% reservation for 1 year within the 20% MBC quota should be there. Okay. Now JCP on the personal data protection bill. Joint committee is there for the personal data protection bill. So there is non-personal too. So the nature of bill itself for inclusion of non-personal data within the larger umbrella. All issues under the new legislation will be dealt with by the single data protection authority. Then personal and non-personal transitional period to ensure that all such data aggregated get ample time to comply with rules under new bill. Then 24 month will be given to date the notification. And social media liability, social media platform that do not act as an intermediary should be treated as publishers. Then penalty, a fine of up to 15 crore and 4% of total global turnover film for data, and jail term up to the 3 year if de identify the data. So timely alert will be there. It is the personal data. Now, election law amendment bill. The election law amendment bill seek to link electoral roll to Aadhaar number. Has been listed for introduction in the Lok Sabha. The bill allow electoral registration officer to ask for Aadhaar number of applicant wanting to register as the voter establish identifying the applicant. It also seek to allow officer to ask the number from person already included in the electoral roll. People who cannot furnish their Aadhaar number will be allowed to present other documents. And section 23 will be like RPA Act will allow linking of the roll data with Aadhaar ecosystem. Amendment to section 14 will allow for qualifying dates for eligible people to register as voter as a now. This amendment to section 20 and section 60 will allow the election to become gender neutral service. Standing committee, the Lok Sabha has sent the bill to raise the age of marriage for women to 21 to the standing committee. The parliament committee is a committee which is appointed or elected by the house or nominated by speaker. It works under the direction of a speaker and present its report to the house or to the speaker and the secretariat. So standing committee, they are usually constituted annual basis. It is the permanent and regular committee time to time according to the provision of Parliament of Rule, Procedure and Conduct of Business. They are further divided into Financial Committee and Departmental Related Committee. The final committee are the Public Account Committee, Estimate Committee and Public Undertaking and Select Committee. Formal for special purpose, the Select Committee case cease to exist when the bill is disposed of. So this is the all about the Standing Committee of marriage for women to 21 to standing committee. So parliament committee is committee which appointed elected of house and work under the direction of speaker and present report to the house to the speaker and secretariat. So standing committee, they are usually reconsidered as an annual basis. Okay. Now adjournment side eye. The winter session of parliament ended recently. Both houses were adjourned side eye. During the session, 13 bills were introduced while 11 bills were passed by both the House of Parliament. When the House is suspended without naming a day of for reassembly, it is known as adjournment side day. If a bill is passed and the House is suspended without naming a day for reassembly, okay, it means dismissing or sitting of Parliament for an unspecified period. The authority of adjournment signed with the presiding officer of House. The presiding officer of House can call a sitting of House before the date of time to which has been suspended or any time the House has been adjourned sine die. So it is like Parliament ended recently. Both houses were adjourned Sunday. Sunday vote it's suspended without naming a day for reassembly. When it will be the reassembly? The day we don't know. Okay, Karnataka Right to Freedom of Religion Bill. The Karnataka Legislature Assembly passed the Karnataka Right to Freedom Assembly Bill. The bill will now go to the Karnataka Legislative Assembly. It prohibits conversion from one religion to another and misrepresentation, force, fraud, allurement, and marriage. It, however, provide an exemption in case of person who reconvert to his immediate previous religion, and the same shall not be deemed to be conversion under this act. So complaint regarding conversion can be filed by family member and related to individual who is getting converted. It jail term will be a 5 year and fine 25,000 will be there. Okay, it's a violation of the law in case. So a jail term is 10 year, then 50,000 will be muted for those converting minors, women and person ST/SC. The bill also advises payment for compensation 5 lakhs to victim of conversion by the person attempting the conversion and double punishment. Right to be forgotten. The center told the Delhi High Court the right to be forgotten is a part of fundamental right of privacy. The right to be forgotten allow person to seek deletion of private information from the internet. The concept has found recognition in some jurisdiction abroad, particularly the European Union. So, General Data Protection Regulation Article 17, which provides for the right to erasure of certain category of personal data, while the right is not recognized by law in India. Court in recent month has held it to be an intrinsic part of right to be privacy. The petition across court have seeking enforcement, and Justice Pratibha M. Singh, Delhi High Court said right to be forgotten, right to be left alone an inherent aspect of right to privacy and republication of new reports. Now good governance index. So गुजरात ने टॉप किया है and followed by the Maharashtra. Uttar Pradesh registered 8.9% and this Jammu Kashmir 3.7%. Delhi is Union Territory category top the good governance index. Gujarat has performed strongly 5 to 10 sectors like social welfare, development, judiciary, public safety, according to statement, Maharashtra has performed strongly in agriculture and allied sector, human resource development and public infrastructure. And now Goa has performed strongly agriculture and allied sector and industry. 20 states have improved their composite index, and it's uniform tool that will help in assessing the status of governance impact of interventions scientifically designed to reflect various parameters. Objectives of good governance index to provide quantifiable data and strategy for improving governance and shift result oriented approach. Year end review, Ministry of Women and Child Development. So Child Marriage Act introduced in Lok Sabha for raising the age of marriage women 18 to 21. Sex ratio birth 19 at national level from 918 to 937. Beti Bachao Beti Padhao. Portion tracker to promote the women and children transparent enabling environment is being created and nurture health, wellness, immunity. Portion tracker applicable has been built on latest technology, real-time monitoring, supplementary nutrition, providing the information, supervision and management. Pradhan Mantri Matra Vandana Yojana scheme for pregnant women and lactating mothers, providing cash incentives and 5,000 in installment directly to the bank, post office and pregnant women lactating mothers. And web portal PM Care for Children scheme launch registration, identification of beneficiaries, support children's orphaned due to COVID. Over 54 lakh women provided assistant one-stop center. Child helpline service also provided decision to distribute 100% fortified rice to state UT supplementary nutrition program. Amendment in juvenile justice strengthen implementation and monitoring mechanism, and magistrates to effective coordinate and monitor the function of the agency responsible for implementation, and simplification adoption procedure for children adopted under Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act. Registration overseas citizen of India granted parity with non-registered Indian. Atal ranking of institution on innovation achievement. So according to Atal ranking institution innovation achievement, 7 IIT and the Indian Institute of Science Bengaluru are among top 10 institute in promotion and support of innovation and entrepreneurship development. The top rank have been backed by IIT Madras, followed by IIT Bombay, Delhi, Kanpur, and Roorkee. The IIS has bagged the sixth position in the ranking Atal ranking of institution on innovation and achievement initiative by Ministry of Education, implementation by AICTE Ministry of Innovation Cell to systematically rank higher education university in India, indicate related to innovate, startup, entrepreneurship, patent filed granted, number of registration, and specialized infrastructure, promote innovation, entrepreneurship. Shakti Criminal Law of Maharashtra. The Maharashtra Assembly passed the Shakti Criminal Law, and with the passage of bill, it became the second state in India after Andhra Pradesh to approve death penalty for heinous offences, rape and gang rape. The existing law had provided for death penalty only in case of repeated offence. The act is also enhanced fines and punishment for offence of sexual offence, women and minor. POSCO Act 2 punishment for penetrative sexual assault heinous cases enhanced by death penalty. The act required the trial in these cases to conduct it on day-to-day basis and complete within 13 working days, and also required to investigate to the complete within month of fire. In case of grievous hurt acid attack under section 326A, the punishment has been enhanced to be minimum 15 years, and in case of voluntary throwing acid attempting to throw it, punishment under section 326B has been enhanced to minimum of 7 year and maximum of 10 year. Now, a review Department of Justice. 12 judges of 63 additional judges appointed in High Court. Tele law service will be provided, so faster disposal of the cases. E-Court Integrated Mission Model project is there. Objective improving the access justice using technology, video conferencing, district and High Court, and citizen-centric service is there. Fast track courts, POCSO court have disposal to provide speedy justice. Victim of rape through expeditious disposal of related case. Centrally sponsored stream development of infrastructure. National Legal Service Authority (NALSA) is the where all the services provided by Legal Service Authority. Gram Nyayalaya online portal. National Mission for Justice Delivery and Legal Reform focus on improvement of administration of justice and justice delivery and legal reforms, increasing access by reducing delays and areas in system, enhancing accountability and setting performance, and the rule of law index is developed published by World Justice Project. And okay, now Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So, Nasha Mukti Bharat Abhiyan annual anti-drug action plan focus on 272 most affected districts and launch a three-pronged attack combining efforts of Narcotics Bureau. So, it will focus on institutional support and community outreach program in district identification. Narcotics Control Bureau change in the strategy from institution level of society. It will launch campaign in school and college to prevent drugs, and this till now through the various activity undertaken by Abhiyan and the Ministry of Social Justice Empowerment for formulation and umbrella scheme SMILE and central sector scheme for comprehensive rehabilitation welfare of transgender and central sector scheme for comprehensive rehabilitation engaged in the begging. This umbrella scheme covers several comprehensive measures including the welfare of begging, act of begging with focus extensively rehabilitation provision, medical facility, counseling, education, skill, economic linkage, and Swachhata Udyami Yojana is the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi with twin objective cleanliness, providing livelihood Safai Karamchari, and provides financial assistance to its target group for procurement operation of sanitation related equipment. Pradhan Mantri Dakshata और कुशलता संपन्न हितग्राही योजना and assistant to scaling for OBZ is Daksh Yojana for central sector schemes, so including West Picker and renamed the PM Daksh. The objective to provide high quality skills and quality institution reputed trainings, so higher employability target. Apart from this, rural artisan before marginalized of in new technologies. Now elderly peoples are also there. So welfare of parents and senior citizens 2007 Act, and employment to willing senior citizens, sacred schemes, and sage portal is there. Sacred is for the willing Sacred is the like very sacred name, so that's why they are providing the employment to the elders. And Sage portal is like it's also name like god is god name. So Atal Vayo Abhyuday Yojana is aimed to assisting startup in field of elderly welfare. It's a Sage platform for the startup. A scheme for economic empowerment of denotified nomadic and semi-nomadic tribes. It's a seed to provide coaching for good quality candidate to enable them appear in competitive exam, to provide health facility, livelihood, provide financial assistance. Now GDP growth 8.4%. So India GDP grew 8.4% and 7.4 concentration a year ago, with the economy gross value added rising 8.5%. National Statistical Office factoring the quarter GDP the first half of this year recorded 13.7%. It show recovery process and economic, however, were not fully convinced about extent and durability, though the absolute GDP in the second quarter 0.3%, and in particular private consumption spending that is still lagging below so COVID level, with activity employment intensive sector construction contract effect of negative growth last year, and investment largely in the government continue to remain key growth driver, and private consumption is yet to show decision recovery. And then improvement in demand and investment are expected in limited and gradual given so pandemic and domestic economy was grappling with slowdown. National Edible Oil Mission Oil Palm. So this is the national mission on edible oil. Oil palm has been launched with the aim to augment availability of edible oil, harnessing area expansion, increasing crude palm oil production with the aim to reduce import burden, to ensure self-sufficiency, to reduce import dependence by the increasing domestic edible oil production. Farmer will get all needed facility from quality seeds to technology. Along with promoting cultivation of oil palm, this mission will also expand the cultivation of over other additional oilseed crop. India's target consumer of vegetation oil in world. India palm oil import are almost 60%. Recently, India dependence on expensive import. Then India palm oil is used to food products. This palm oil is extremely important and top consumer India, China and European Union. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada. It's a scheme for the blue revolution. It was recently launched. Umbrella scheme and components are central sector schemes and central sponsor scheme. So total estimated investments in 20,000 and goal to double the fish export by 24 to address critical gap in fish production, quality technology, post-harvest infrastructural management, modernization, strengthening value chain traceability, robust fishery management, and harnessing of fishery potential, sustainable, responsible, inclusive, equitable manner, enhancing contribution to GV and export, social, physical, economic security, and robust fishery management and regulatory framework. Global Fuel Economy Initiative. So it is the fuel consumption of new light. So the average rated fuel consumption of new light duty vehicle. So three major car market: China, European Union, US. 60% of global sale of light duty. So the number of factors were responsible for the slowing pace of movement. Strategic fuel economy standard market share increased. Car can use almost one third more fuel than medium sized car. Slow adoption of electric cars are also the reason of the fuel like economy initiative. The global fuel economy initiative collaborating between the UNEP, IEA and University of California and International Council on Clean Transportation, International Transport Forum, and promotes fuel efficiency, adoption of cost effective efficiency, and objective of help stabilize greenhouse gases and global light duty vehicle. So 50% improvement of vehicle fuel efficiency worldwide is promote introduction of cleaner, more energy efficient developing and transition country. So employment of rural youth, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. It is the livelihood security of the household in rural area. So guarantee wage employment in every financial year. Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana. This is the placement linked in skill development. Skill development of rural self-employment training institute. And Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana for the economical weaker section and recognition of prior learning. Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Implementation Employment Generation Program, which is major credit link subsidy program aimed at generating self-employment opportunity and micro enterprises, non-farm sector helping traditional artisans and youth, and scheme facilitate generation of opportunities. Okay, now Dame Safety Bill is also there in Rajya Sabha. So enactment of Dame Safety Bill was passed Lok Sabha, and regulation specific Dame Safety Bill inspection, surveillance, operation, maintenance of 50 meters height and 10 meters, 15 meters with certain design structural condition. National Committee on Dam Safety was function including the involving policies, regulation regarding the dam safety, and National Dam Safety Authority include the implementation of policy. National Committee for State Dam Safety Organization is resolving matter between state and between the state bodies. It's also constitute two state bodies for the dam safety and state dam organizations responsible for surveillance, inspection and monitoring, and panel provision is also there. Global Hunger Index. It's a annual peer-reviewed publication concern worldwide wealth, hunger, life. So it is like undernourishment, child wasting, child stunting, child mortality will be reduced. Track hunger at global, regional, national level, and Global Hunger Index does not reflect India's true picture as its flawed measure of hunger. So World Health Organization, the World Bank, and United Nations are taken to calculate these parameters. So World Bank, World Health Organization, and UN. Okay, so what is the like India's score is 26 and rank is 101 out of 116. It is important. Okay, then women farmer in the country. As per the like you can see that to reduce the child mortality evidence for indicated, namely outcome of hungers. So this is about women farmer in the country. As a performance in collected agriculture census, 11.72% of total operated area country was operated female operated holder. So Ministry of Home Affairs compiles dissemination information on suicides, accidental death, suicide in India. As per the publication, farmer defined as person whose profession is farming and includes those who cultivate on their own and as well as cultivate on lease land without assistance of agriculture. Urban Cooperative Bank. Reserve Bank of India government has indicated that RBI will bring regulatory change to reform Urban Cooperative Bank. So have been pledged series of failures. So RBI has also warned people against depositing their saving in bank offering high returns. The term Urban Cooperative Bank refer to primary cooperative bank located in urban semi-urban area. This bank were traditionally centered around community, locality and workplace. Regulation unlike commercial bank, only partial regulated RBI banking operation was regulated. So it's urban cooperative banks are in the urban area. RBI has also warned people against depositing their saving in banks high returns. The term urban cooperative bank was located in urban semi-urban area. These banks were traditionally centered around communities, locality, workplace group. They essentially lend to small borrower and businesses. Today their scope operation has widened considerably, and regulation unlike commercial bank, the only partial regulated RBI banking operations regulated by RBI, but their management and resolution regulated by registered cooperative society. So borrower can be shareholder in commercial bank. There's clear distinction between the shareholder and its borrower. World's largest green hydrogen microgrid project. It's Simhadri. It would be precursor to large-scale hydrogen energy, would be useful for studying deploying multiple microgrid strategic locations. So would open door for decarbonizing and far-off region country like Ladakh, Jammu Kashmir, and projects in line for India to become carbon neutral by 2070 and making Ladakh a carbon neutral territory. प्रधान मंत्री कृषि सिंचाई योजना, accelerated irrigation benefit program, हर खेत को पानी and watershed development component has during accelerated irrigation benefit program and to financial support to irrigation project. Apart from focus completion 16 ongoing project and हर खेत को पानी enactment physical assets on the farm and expansion cultivatable area, irrigation, surface minor irrigation, repair, renovation, restoration, view importance of rejuvenation of water body. Cabinet approved the paradigm shift in funding rejuvenation in both urban and rural areas, significant expansion of the inclusion criteria, enhancement of central assistance from 25 to 60%, Watershed development component: water conservation, soil conservation, groundwater, and promoting extension activities, land resource, watershed development, irrigation. So, umbrella scheme providing central grant to the state government for specific activities consists of two major components: Department of Water Resources, River Development, Ganga Rejuvenation, Accelerated Irrigation Benefit Program, Har Khet Ko Pani, and surface minor irrigation, renovation, restoration, water body, groundwater. This is now Amazon for 200 crore. Competition Commission of India projects approval given in November. Amazon investment and future units. So it's a statutory body established 2003, become fully functional 2009, responsible for enforcing the Competition Act 2002. An act prohibit anti-competitive agreement, abuse, dominant position of enterprises. Act regulate combination, acquisition, acquiring, control, merger and acquisitions. And there is a chairperson, 6 members by the central government. Person should be qualified to be a judge of high court or has special knowledge of the professional experience not less than 15 years in the international trade, economic, commerce, law, finance, and eliminate practice having adverse effect of competition, promote sustained competition, protect interests of consumer, ensure freedom of trade. International Development Association. International Development Association is recently to help the world poorest nation, which would help scale up the pandemic recovery and other program. It is biggest replenishment ever for International Development Association, which provide grant 74 countries. Package include 23 billion contribution, and the fund will help country prepare better for future crisis. It is international financial institute which offer concessional loan grants and member of World Bank Group headquarter Washington DC. It was established to complete the existing international bank for reconstruction and development, sustainable urban development and service delivery program. So it is the Asian Development Bank have signed Sustainable Urban Development and Service Delivery Program. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs 350 million policy based improve access to urban service. Policy action reform will be accelerated to enhance service delivery, promote performance based certain central fiscal transaction to local bodies. It will provide knowledge advisory support, and it is Regional Development Bank in 1966, headquartered Manila, Philippines. Aim to promote social economic development of Asia, modeled closely on the World Bank, and has similar weighted voting system. 68 members, and it's officially a United States observer. India was a founding member, and is now the bank fourth largest shareholder and top borrower. Fugitive economic offender. Union Finance Ministry in Lok Sabha that bank has recovered selling the asset of fugitive in Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi. All the three have been declared fugitive economic offender. Prevention of Money Laundering Act and Fugitive Economic Offender Act become a law to deter economic offender from avoiding the process of India law by remaining outside the jurisdiction of Indian court. To ensure fugitive economic offender return to India to face the action, and who has committed offence involving 100 crore rupees and has ran away from avoid criminal prosecution, special courts are set up to direct central government siege asset fugitive economic offenders crimes and appeals against orders. Special courts will be laid to High Court. Next is Vandan Chronicle. TriFit Vandan Chronicle was launched by Ministry of Tribal Affairs. TriFit Vandan Chronicle is an depth resource on the Vandan Yojana. TriFit activity in this important scheme is mechanism for marketing of minor forest produce through minimum support price and development of value chain has impacted the tribal ecosystem. The Vandan tribal startup has emerged as the source of employment. So, under the Multi-State Cooperative Society Act, this statutory body works for the social and economic development of tribal people and Ministry of Tribal Affairs. It is being registered as national level cooperative body for government of country. It will help tribal people manufacturing product for national and international market on sustainable basis and also support the formation self-help group. Anti-dumping duty. India has imposed anti-dumping duty on 5 Chinese products. Anti-dumping duty is protection tariff that a domestic government impose on foreign imports. The imposition of anti-dumping duty is permissible under World Trade Organization, aimed to ensuring fair trading practice, creating a level playing field local producers. This tariff can also lead to higher price for domestic consumer. Flex fuel vehicle. Union Minister of Road and Transport and Highway advised automobile manufacturing in India to start manufacturing flex fuel vehicle. Flex fuel is strong hybrid electric vehicle complying time-bound manner with 6 months. In line with the government policy on promoting ethanol as a transport fuel, flex fuel vehicles are capable of running on the combination of 100 petrol, 100 bioethanol, and blends. So the move will be drastically reduce greenhouse gases and helping India to comply with commitment made COP26 reduce total projected carbon emissions 1 billion tons. In order to accelerate introduction flex fuel vehicle, the production linked incentive scheme has introduced automobile and auto components and flex fuel engines. A flex fuel engine is an internal combustion engine that can run on more than one type fuel, and a blend of petrol and ethanol or methanol is used, and flex fuel engine are capable of running 100% petrol or ethanol and are already available. E-Shram portal is 15 crore mark recently. Uttar Pradesh seek the highest number. It is a portal through which the government aims to register 38 crore unorganized workers such as construction, laborer, migrant workers, street vendor, and domestic worker. Ministry of Labour and Employment is the issued E-Shram card containing 12-digit unit number, and registration of E-Shram will facilitate worker to get the benefit of various social security and employment based scheme. Changing reform for Ministry of Textiles. So unique advantage of the entire value chain for textile production present within country competing nation which have to import fiber, yarn and fabric to meet requirement for garments. It has been large markets. The domestic textile and apparel production is approx 140. Textile and apparel industry 22% overall GDP. Widely referred like availability of almost type of raw material, existing total value chain, young demographic dividend, entrepreneurship, continuous support to government technology upgradation, focus innovation and strong presence of support. So it is the Pradhan Mantri Mega Integrated Textile Region Apparel Park. Mitra is the park for the encompasses 5 component: farm to fiber, fiber to factory, factory to fashion, fashion to foreign. And PM Mitra Park work class industrial infrastructure would attract cutting edge technology, FDI, and PM Mitra Park to generate around 1 lakh direct, 2 lakh indirect employment, production link incentive, high value expanding textile segment and textile value chain, approved continuation with boost the export competitiveness. Samarth scheme is 10 industry association, 13 state government, 4 sectoral organizations is allocated targets. Samarth is placement oriented program targeting skill development, unemployed youth, value chain, employment in organized sector, skill upgradation, weaver and artisan. Ministry of Textile approved rationalization of continuation of integrated wool development program, national action plan for India Toy Stories. Next is electricity capacity from non-fossil fuel. It's 40% of its installed electricity capacity from non-fossil fuel. India has achieved ambitious 40% target, and the ministry said country installed renewable energy at 150 gigawatts and 6.78 gigawatts. It said bring the total non-fossil energy capacity 156 gigawatt. Government said it is committed to achieve 500 gigawatt electricity capacity from non-fossil fuels by 2013 COP26. Hornbill Festival is a festival of Nagaland government promoting event to showcase the state traditional rich cultural heritage, ethnicity, diversity, and objective is to encourage inter-tribal interaction and to promote cultural heritage of Nagaland. Witnessing the cultural performance of different tribal of Nagaland, northeastern state indigenous game, and one of the major highlight of festival is the Hornbill International Rock Festival. It's a 9 species of hornbill with hornbill, brown hornbill, rufous necked hornbill. Hornbill used to be hunted and upper beak and feature of, despite being cultural symbol of Northeast Nishi tribes living in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, now Center's Air Quality Commission. It's Supreme Court approved measure taken by Central Air Quality Commissions. It's enforceable task force and flying squad to prevent pollution in Delhi NCR. So action on behalf of the commission against violators. And about the air quality commission, the commission air quality management national region of NCR. Objective of the commission is to better coordination, research, identification, resolution problem adjoining area Haryana, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, and environment pollution and prevention control authority. Coordination action by concerned state government, planning execution plan to prevent control air pollution, providing framework, identification, conducting research development, training, creating a special workforce, preparing various action plans, increasing plantation, addressing stubble burning, and air quality investigation, conducting research related to environment pollution, preparing codes and guidelines, direction matters, inspection, regulation which will bring like may impose collect the environment compensation. Project Rehab. Project Rehab is innovative project reducing the elephant human attack on bees in Karnataka Khadi village industry commission. And now surrounded by dense forest, a large part of Assam is infected by elephant. Human death reported. So Project Rehab reducing the elephant human attacks. Objective 2 prevent the elephant attack in human habitation using the honeybee. It entailed installing bee box along the periphery of forest. The project rehab bee fencing created by setting up the boxes, and the boxes was connected with the string so that when elephant attempt is passed through, a tug or pull curse the swamp. So it is cost effective way reducing the human wild conflict harm to the animals. Scientifically recorded that elephants are annoyed by honeybee. It is believed that elephant fear of bees will prevent them from transgressing into human landscape. So Project Rehab is the national honey mission. Project Rehab launched the Kodagu district of Karnataka. Government has set up target to raise the share of natural gas in energy 15% in 2030. So government raised the natural gas in energy 50% to achieve the target, and expansion of national gas grid, and expansion of completion of Indian population 86% is geographical area would be converted into network, setting up the national gas in energy mix to 15%, allocation of domestic gas, allowing the marketing pricing freedom, gas reduce from high pressure high temperature, SATAT initiative, bio CNG considering the demand for natural gas and future current high price to do threaten India goal to boost the gas. Right to climate justice is a justice for preserving nature for future generation, and call for debate on right to climate justice. Climate justice is a term used for framing global warming as an ethical and political issue. Development of environment degradation measure taken for the development largely have negative impact on environment. So it is prioritizing the investment. Then climate justice will have to prioritize investment, no vulnerability, lobbying by business, industry, ground bill. So it is quick transaction, renewable based solution. Climate justice is policy planning to the suffering community and show the development country. Now stubble as a biofuel. The union government is working on the plan to use stubble as a biofuel as a manure and part of the effort to deal with the stubble burning. And stubble burning is act as a setting for the crop residue to remove them from the field of sow to the next crop. It is a traditional practice in Punjab and Haryana to clean off the rice chaff to prepare the field of winter sowing. It began around the October, coincide with the withdrawal of southwest monsoon. National Green Tribunal has banned crop residue burning in state Rajasthan. Biofuel are liquid gaseous fuel primarily produced by biomass, can be used to replace or can be additional diesel, petrol and fossil fuel. India co-chair Global Methane Initiative. It is the voluntarily government and inform international partnership having member from 45 countries including United States and Canada. The forum has been created to achieve global reduction of anthropogenic methane, and the forum was created India of the methane since its inspection and has taken vice chairperson for first time. So it is big concern as its greenhouse gas having 25 to 28 harmful effect on carbon dioxide. Methane is a greenhouse gas and 80% of the termed global warming capacity, approximately 40% of methane emitted in the natural source and 60% come from human influence sources. United Nations grant observer status to International Solar Alliance. So this is going to be the impetus to one sun, one world, one grid solution. So goal of net zero carbon emission. The International Solar Alliance, a country initiated by India, most of them being sunshine country, which are either completely or partially between the Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn. Primarily objective of alliances work for efficient consumption, solar energy, reduce dependence on fossil fuel. Treaty-based intergovernmental organization countries that do not fall within the Tropico can join the alliance and enjoy all benefits of other, with exception of voting rights. So this initiative was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Paris Climate Summit, United Nations Climate Change Conference in Paris. Framework Agreement International Solar Alliance opened for the signature in Marrakesh and Morocco, and headquarters is Gurugram. The focus is solar power utilization. The launching of such alliance Paris also sent a strong signal to the global community about the sincerity of a developing nation towards concern about the climate change. One Sun, One World Grid proposed India set up the framework for facilitating global cooperation which aimed to building a global ecosystem, envision the building and scaling India's regional energy grid resources region, help carbonize energy production, and with India Ministry of New and Renewable Energy work, World Bank signing the tripartite agreement, and it can unlock the unprecedented economy of rigorous assessment modeling. World Bank, which has helping the create market by driving down the courses of solar power. So Kajuvalli is the bird sanctuary. Kajuvalli is a wetland in the Pulicat Lake water lake in South India. It's in Tamil Nadu. So the area has dedicated ecological significance, protecting, propagating, developing wildlife. It's home to diverse species and region of Central Asia and Siberia. Buxa Tiger Reserve is in West Bengal. Tiger Reserve, Alipur district, and created 1983. Its northern boundary runs along the international border of Bhutan. It's the Sinchua Hill Range, and all northern like eastern boundary represent highly endemic Indo-Malayan region. The fragile Tarra ecosystem, part of Zrav and Phipsu Wildlife Sanctuary. Bhutan is continuous north, and Manas National Park. So thus serve the international corridor for Asian elephant migration. India and Bhutan, some of the rivers flowing, Sankosh, Jayanti, Churnia, Turturi, Dima, Nordo. The forest of reserve is classified most tropical forest. Okay, Biological Diversity Act. It is the act by Lok Sabha, Ayush practitioner from the ambit of Biological Diversity Act. It also facilitates across the biological resources and traditional knowledge by Indian tradition medicine sector. Legal experts have expressed concern that easing the norms sector could be detrimental to ecology and sharing commercial benefits, and the Biological Diversity Act was enacted by conservation of biological diversity, fair, equitable and sharing monetary benefits. Now, according to the bill, it seeks to reduce the pressure on wild medical plants, encouraging the cultivation, and biodiversity board are established, facilitate fast-tracking research, simplify the patent application, no discrimination, bring more foreign investment in biological resource and patent research, commercial utilization without like rainwater harvesting is the Ministry of State for Jal Shakti for rainwater harvesting. So water is a state subject. Central government has taken important measures to implementation rainwater harvesting. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs is formulating the guideline. Additional number of state notable work in field of water conservation. Mukhyamantri Jal Yojana, Jal Yukt Shibar Maharashtra, Mission Kakatiya, Neeru Chetu in Andhra Pradesh, Jal Jeevan Haryali, Jal Hi Jeevan, and Kuddi Mantha. Albino India flap-shell turtle in the Sirnapal forest of Telangana. Is forest forensic investigator encountered with the albino India flap-shell turtle. It is freshwater turtle and widespread in Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. Flap-shell turtle is IUCN status is vulnerable, and turtle albino appearance is due to genetic. It is the congenital disorder and characterized by complete partial absence. Billigiri Rangaswamy Temple of Tiger Reserve. Its Biligiri Temple of Tigers Reserve is Lantana is the genus, and they are native to tropical region of America and Africa. They exist and introduce species in numerous areas, especially in Australia, South Northeast area. It is serious economic base for citrus industry. It many from like it's a Biligiri Rangaswamy temple, so it is in where it is? It is in like Bandipur, like Karnataka area. Okay, so it is the situated between the west and eastern ghats of Biligiri Rangaswamy temple and Karnataka and the border of Tamil Nadu. It has been named the Rangaswamy temple, embellishing the rock Hemam sanctuary. It was declared protected reserve wildlife protection act. This unique sanctuary exhibits scrub, dry, deciduous, moist, deciduous, evergreen forest, widely known for many endemic species. Olive Ridley is the tagging Olive Ridley turtle, Rashikulya, Odisha coast, researcher, Geological Survey of India. So Gahirmata, Devi River and Rushikulya they found there, and they are inter-rookery movement of turtle. And Olive Ridley sea turtle is the most abundant of all sea turtle, and warm and tropical water, primarily Pacific and Indian Ocean, known for their unique mass nesting called Aribada. Thousand of females, so they are vulnerable. Ministry of Environment and Forest changes 17 sessions. So sustainable development goals and to legally bind. It's not a legally binding, but de facto international obligations and reorient domestic expanding priority. So Ministry of Environment and Forest Climate Change. There's a 13, 15 and 12 sustainable development goal. 13 is urgent action or protect against climate, and 15 is sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem. So 13 is for environment and climate change, and 15 is for ecosystem, and the 12 is ensuring sustainable production and consumption patterns. So it's a Basel Convention to monitor hazardous substance. So 2013 agenda also underscored that quality, reliable and disaggregated data will be needed for measurement progress, ensure no one is left behind. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is strengthening the data system monitoring of progress on the Sustainable Development Goal. Climate change took part of the 2026 session of Conference of Party. National Framework Convention Climate Change Glasgow. India's non-fossil energy capacity 500 gigawatt 2030. India will meet 50% of energy requirement with renewable energy. India will reduce its total projected carbon emission by 1 billion ton. India will reduce the carbon intensity economy 45%, and India will achieve the target of net zero emissions. So transport of climate finance and low cost climate technology has become the more important, and goal of development country party to mobilize the jointly 100 billions, and the outcome also include completion of work related to rule procedure guideline, implementation of Paris agreement mechanism and non-market approach. So it is basic country Nepal, Bhutan, Maldives, and meetings were held the Ministry of like-minded developing country. So Privesh is there is pursuit of spirit of digital India, maximum governance and minimum government, integrated environment management system, Privesh, proactive responsive facilitation, interactive virtuous environment single window hub is a Privesh. It's under the Ministry of Environment and Forest Climate Change. It's an online portal. Nagar Van Yojana is a developing 400 Nagar Vans and 200 Nagar Vatika with objective to significantly enhance tree outside forest and green cover. So it is better environment enhancement, biodiversity, ecological benefits, Compulsory Afforestation Fund and Planning Authority (CAMPA). National Compulsory Afforestation and Management Planning Authority is CAMPA. The day the Compulsory Afforestation Fund National Authority manages and utilizes the National Compulsory Afforestation Fund. UTN states are also working. So it is wildlife. The Project Dolphin and Project Loin has been initiated, and the associated environment impact so strengthen at the majority statutory and forest area for cleaner environment. The protected area are coverage of protected area 4.19% of country geographical area. Population of several species like tiger, Asiatic lion, and greater one-horned rhinoceros, elephants. Biodiversity conservation. India enacted the biodiversity conservation and notified rules. So it is the act implemented through CETA institution mechanism, National Biodiversity Authority, State Biodiversity Board, Biodiversity Management Committee, and the COP15 for the Convention on Biodiversity. Visions for proposed framework by 2050. Biodiversity is values conserved, restored, widely used, maintaining ecosystem. And biodiversity is the being introduced to simplify, streamline, reduce compliance burden. National Biodiversity Authority is body for Biological Diversity Act, and Union Territory Biological Council is also there. The number of Ramsar sites is India have increased 47 covering area. India has the largest number of Ramsar site. Health cards prepared for 500 wetland under 4 prolonged approach. Vienna Convention, Montreal Protocol and protection of ozone. Ministry of Environment and Forest Climate National Ozone Unit for implementation of Montreal Protocol. After successfully phasing out the chlorofluorocarbon, carbon tetrachloride, halone, methyl bromide, methyl chloroform. So, chasing the hydrocarbon and chlorofluorocarbon, Montreal Protocol, the government India. Kigali Amendment to Montreal Protocol, hydrocarbon are used, air conditioner, refrigerator. Kigali Amendment, Montreal Protocol, India was complete in phase, hydrocarbons should be reduced. Ministry of Environment and Forest Climate Change launched India Cooling Action Plan, integrated vision toward cooling across the sectors. And National Clean Air Program is Ministry of Environment and Forest Climate Change implement National Clean Air Program. So it is Commission Air Quality Management has been constituted enactment of Parliament, better coordination, research and identification, avoiding use of single-use plastic and efficient effective management of plastic way to enhance the efficiency implementation. And Ministry has notified the Plastic Waste Management Amendment Rule. As per the notification is import, stocking, distribution, sale, use to identify single-use plastic. The thickness of plastic carry bags has been increased, and the ministry organized awareness campaigns and combating the land degradation, desertification and drought. An irrigated coastal zone management program is there. So it is the blue economy and thrust area government for sustainable development of coastal resources development, due consideration, conservation, protection, coastal marine resources, pollution abatement measure, management of coastal marine ecosystem, livelihood enhancement, security of coastal community, capacity building, UT. And as per the international standard have been prestigious blue flag certification for its environment, sound management, ecological sustainable infrastructure with adequate safety. Odisha Indian Pangolin is Odisha Forest Environment Department has completed its first ever radio tagging Indian pangolin. So the radio tagging Indian pangolins was released into the wild Nandan Kanan Wildlife Sanctuary, and post release monitoring. So Madhya Pradesh Odisha is the second state in the country to release the radio tagging is pangolin. It has thick scaly skin, hunted for meats and a traditional Chinese medicine. Pangolin are among the most trafficked wildlife. Indian pangolin is the largest among pangolin, and out of the 8 species pangolin, the Indian and Chinese pangolin are found in India. So both these species are listed under the Schedule 1 and Part 1 Wildlife Act, and the nocturnal animal lives in burrow and feed on the termites. India pangolin endangered, Chinese is critically endangered. Now next will be on the geography part, so we will discuss this also.